Hi, I'm Kurt Kernut,
And I'm Ashley Gordon.
and for the first time, Reading for the Rest of Us has gone on the road.
We are on the road.
Why are we on the road?
We are on the road because it is April 23rd, which is World Book Night, although it's daylight, so we're starting early.
We cheated a little bit.
All over the country today, givers have volunteered to give away best-selling books, tens of thousands of best-selling books, for free.
We're down here in downtown Montgomery, Alabama, and for our giving away night, our afternoon, we chose a legendary establishment, which is Chris's Hot Dogs, which has been around for 97 years. And now you grew up in Montgomery, so you remember Chris's.
I remember Chris's. My granddaddy, T.F. Grace, had a business downtown by the train station, and he used to bring me here for hot dogs when I was too young to eat them all the way. But I'm not anymore.
And I've only been here 20 years, but I can remember from the first months that I was here in Montgomery, if I would come down for lunch, I'd usually come down by myself and bring a book and just hang out and read, and it's a great place to...
So who knew that books and hot dogs at Chris's went together?
That's right, but the point of this program is you can take a book anywhere, and reading is for any place at any time.
Not just jury duty, although we've seen a couple of folks today who are on jury duty.
That's right.
They were quite happy to get their books.
We have helped entertain more sequestered jurors today than I think.
And we've heard a few times, oh, I don't read. Well, don't say that to a former 9th grade English teacher, let me tell you. She went out of here with a book.
Yeah, we have, it's very interesting to do because when people walk by and you say, hello, would you like a book? Of course,
No.
Their pace speeds up about, 20 miles per second.
What's the catch?
Right.
No, there is no catch. No, really, what's the catch?
They're afraid we're selling something, and we aren't. And it is a little weird because people don't think there is not a catch. We are just giving the books away and putting them in the hands because the idea is that if you leave a good book somewhere or just put it into people's hands and invite them to share it, then more and more people are going to read, and they're going to read more often.
And particularly if they take books places like Chris's where you might not expect to find them. Start a conversation. Oh, I read that book, or I saw that movie, or why on earth do you have a book here? So it's helping to make books part of our everyday lives.
It's interesting because we had to apply to do this, and we each chose a book, and I chose Walter Mosley's Devil in a Blue Dress.
And I chose Alexander McCall Smith, the #1 ladies detective agency.
And we blew out of
Walter Mosley's gone.
Blue Dress almost instantly. But somehow we also managed, I think we mugged a fellow World Book Night giver and stole her books, but we also managed to get copies of Nora Roberts' Montana Sky, so we've been giving those out as well. It's been a wonderful afternoon, a wonderful lunch. We're blocking traffic, however, so...
And we gotta move.
So we're gonna go inside and talk to some folks inside.
And give away more books. Okay, safe.
All right, well, we're inside Chris's Hot Dogs right now, and I'm here with Theo, who's the son of the original owner of it. And tell me about your dad. He started this business how long ago?
96 years ago. He was a Greek immigrant. He came here with very little education. In fact, he told me that he went to school for 6 weeks. I used to be a little school behind the Capitol called Lafayette, and he went there for 6 weeks. He learned how to read by reading English by reading the paper.
Well, that's great. I mean, for those of you that don't know, Chris's really is a Montgomery institution. And part of the reason we chose it as our giveaway site for World Book Night is because it is downtown Montgomery, and the idea that we would have customers walking through, probably coming through, grabbing lunch, and sitting down and reading. But Theo, you were telling me a funny story about your dad and his attitude toward customers who brought in books to read.
Yeah, well, I found an old sign. I don't remember being up here, but it said, "Do not read books in here." And the reason was that people would, after they would eat, they would sit there and read a book. And we're not a very big place. And so they were taking up space. And so he discouraged reading books in here.
You know, I was telling them earlier outside that I've been in Montgomery only 20 years, but when I first moved down here, I would come down here and had no friends in town except my books, and I would come down and eat and hang out and read a book. So I was probably breaking your dad's rules there for a long time. Well, thanks for having me back, despite kicking it out. I just want to mention one other thing. When you come to Chris's, this is what you get served. This is vintage stuff. And you were telling me that if you don't stock that, the customers go nuts.
They go nuts with it. If we don't have bottled Coke or chocolate milks, they have a problem with that.
That's great. Cokes, chocolate milk, and books. Thanks a lot, Theo. We really appreciate it.
I think you will love this one. And that's a good one to share, too.
All right. Well, we're here with Gus, who is the new owner. One of the owners. How long have you been involved here?
I've been here all my life, really. All my life. Since I was a kid, 4 or 5 years old, I would run back and forth with Fry's, but I've been back full-time for about 3.5 years.
Okay, great. We actually have a mutual friend. She's your cousin, but she's my friend, Stephania, and when we were sort of trying to find a great place to do this, I threw this idea out to her, and she sort of set us up a little bit, and so we want to thank her. But tell us a little bit about this wall here. This was
in the 52, 53, we remodeled Chris's. The last time we did a full remodel of Chris's, and I think Sherlock Smith and Adams did was the architect that did it. And this is one of the first glass brick walls in Montgomery, and it's supposed to look like a music note and music. It was Chris's always had a jukebox and had a lot of music and stuff like that, with Hank Williams being here and all that stuff. But this was supposed to look like a music note, and even with the ends, with it looks like the curls on the ends, it look like a sheet of music. So
I love that. One part of the fun of coming to Chris's is just looking around at the memorabilia and everything from all the years that it's been open. And what's your favorite piece of memorabilia you have from the past here?
We have a piece in one of our front portals that's from FDR. That was my grandfather bought. That FDR sold for polio research. And actually, after FDR died, my grandmother put a black veil over it. But because FDR actually came in here in the 30s, and as back, I think they had a parade for him, and one night he came here in town. And then every time FDR came through on the train, he'd get the porters to get him a box of hot dogs. And so that was kind of a neat little thing we have here. So.
That's an awesome story. It always amazes me to be downtown Montgomery with all the history here, and it's so cool to have Chris's still be here, be part of that history.
Yeah, Chris's has seen a lot of the history right here on Dexter Avenue. From the civil rights, and then all the Civil War stuff that went on this street. Montgomery, this Dexter Avenue is I think, in my opinion, is the most important street in the state. From the Civil War to the civil rights. This is where history happened in Alabama.
It's a great location to be. Let me ask you one final question. Theo was telling me the story about how his dad actually had a sign up here at one point that said, no reading, because people would come in and eat and just hang out. You don't kick people out who come with books to read, do you?
No, not at all. No, I encourage it.
All right. Well, Gus, I want to thank you a lot, man, for having us in. It's been a great afternoon, and we really appreciate it. Thank you very much.